Hello, welcome to the LudoNarraCon 2020 demos, and this is Over the Alps, which is described as a Hitchcockian World War Two spy thriller, and it's developed by Stave Studios. There was a little intro for you there. They ran out of wine and had to go to the wine cellar to look for more wine. Let's see what this is all about. Oh no, don't do the credits. I did that before and I got stuck. New game. A case of the Chateau Veloci. Chiasso. Okay. 29th of August 1939. That is World War Two, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that. World War Two spy thriller. Well, I didn't mean to. That was off the top of my head. 1939 to like 45, isn't it, the World War? So this is at the beginning of the war. Mussolini fumes over daring prison escape. 4 prisoners escaped from a detention facility outside of Milan last night in an incident the Italian Prime Minister has branded the work of foreign agents. In a statement this morning, Mr. Mussolini vowed that no efforts would be spared to retrieve the prisoners, whom he described as dangerous political insurgents. Okay, so I'm not quite sure who Mussolini is. I know he's famous. Obviously the Italian Prime Minister, I guess, but I don't know if he's good or bad. Aubry. I've been enjoying the sights and smells of Milan, my friend. Ooh, what's... Quite a city, no matter what Mussolini's doing to the place. Oh, I can choose, what to write. Is it really terrible? I don't know what fascism is. I don't even know how to say the word. I won't tell you precisely what I got up to. Control has enough dirt on me already, I think, but it shouldn't have any of those messy consequences our masters dislike so much. Yeah, and would you believe it? I even met a girl. Note, you are a charismatic British agent. Okay, I can pull that off, surely, can't I? Black hair, blue eyes, a stunner. She said, Control needs you in Riva San Viatel. Don't hang about. You tell Control from me. I want to live long enough to own a vineyard with a girl like that. The Italian Gambit. Not sure if I'm waiting or if I'm supposed to press something. Oh, is this just all about... Is there any other gameplay or is it just making postcards? Postcard. 49 stops Aubry, and they call this an express. Switzerland is full of these electric trains, the young woman in my compartment remarked, as we lurched to a halt once again. Not enough fuel here to run proper trains. No good coal mines, I think. She smiled at me, a prim, unaccustomed smile like an ill-fitting shoe. That will soon change, she added. I feel like I should just ignore it. I ignored the remark and continued to gaze out of the window. She didn't seem to mind. She stuck out a gloved hand. Fräulein Wolf. Not Swiss. German. Mr. Smith. I'm not making this up, Aubry. That was her name. I'm going with Master Smith, I said as I shook the outstretched hand. Smith, ah. She nodded, as though very content with my answer. The train lurched back into motion. For a moment we jostled together. 5 empty seats, and she had picked the one beside mine. Where are you headed? I don't know how you say that word, Fräulein. I go where my work takes me, she answered. I am very, how do you say it? Like a dog. Dogged. Appropriate for a wolf. What is it that you do? I take it then that you never give up. And what is it that you do? You are now a romantic. Okay. Cool, so what we choose builds our character. I meet people. I arrange things, she replied, casually, then turned to the window with a sigh. I do so love to travel. That's not a job. She turned to examine her reflection in the window glass and adjusted the fall of her hair. A pity. The way those soft blonde waves hid her brow worked fine for me. Are we talking about the girl that we met? We continued to talk. We passed the rest of the journey in silence. The Fräulein tried a few more starters without success. We continued to talk, okay. Fräulein Wolf is interested in you. Is this a dating simulator? I'm pretty sure it's not. We continued to talk. It was a pleasant way to spend the time, and there was plenty of time to spend. Before we parted, we agreed to meet again at the bar of the hotel in Riva San Vital. Perhaps I would be in luck, and Fräulein Wolf would prove to be my contact. I don't know what's happening, to be honest. Riva San Vital. We're at the hotel then. Whew. Yeah, I think maybe the whole game is these postcards then. Aubry, I saw the Fräulein again. But before I get to that, let me tell you about my contact. Typical sort, Control would send. Stiff as a poker, jumpy as a frog. In the middle of the hotel bar, drink in hand but not drinking, sticking out like a sore thumb. Exchanging code words wasn't necessary, but there was the Fräulein too, perched on a stool with a large glass of grappa, looking straight at my contact. Perhaps you know that man, Fräulein. Why, Mr. Smith, are you jealous? She replied with a smile. Why don't we call him over? She waved her glove, and the man almost skipped towards us, grateful as a child. There you are, he enthused, speaking only to me, as though the Fräulein wasn't there, like a perfect idiot. Italian accent. I'm not going to try and do an Italian accent. You are the agent, yes? We will go tonight, from the bay, after dark. He hurried away. Fräulein Wolf raised a delicious eyebrow. Agent? I don't understand really what the game is. I feel like I shouldn't be telling her that I'm an agent. But also, tell no one is quite funny. Travel agent. Naturally, the Fräulein giggled. Let me buy you a drink, Herr Smith. She smiled. It's not dark yet. Wait, so this is... we've just done that stretch, right? We're here. So then, what, do we have to choose a way to get to here? And then we're making our way up this journey to Bellinzona. What does this do? I'm not sure. Diary. Milan prison escape. Mussolini vows response. Met Fraulein Wolf aboard the train to Chiasso. I hope to see more of her in Riva San Vital. I met the Italian in the bar of the hotel in Riva San Vital. He wanted to meet me down by the bay, but he didn't say why. But Fraulein Wolf overheard what he said. Welcome to Over the Alps. Right. Meet Wolf. I'm not sure. And then I guess this is the map. And then pause there. Oh wait, go back to the map. Oh god. So either I liked Wolf, but I didn't trust her, so I intercepted the Italian and changed the plan, or the idiot arranged to cross the lake by rowboat. Yeah, I think I don't trust her, so I'm gonna intercept the plan. What an idiot he was, though. Aubry, do you remember back in Piccadilly when we had that little contest to see who could collect the most vehicles in the space of an afternoon? So who is Aubry? What do I say? It may have been a drunken prank, but I consider it some of our finest work. Anyway, it turns out that in a pinch, you only need to steal one. Though doing it with an anxious Italian man in tow is a pretty thing. Oh, we're stealing a car. So then, yeah, okay. I've done this hundreds of times, nothing to worry about. You are extremely charismatic. Of course I am. Hundreds? The man seemed to have some sort of conscientious objection to borrowing cars. Honestly, Audrey, where does Control find these people? I shot him a look. The man bit his lip and fell silent. A moment more, and I had tricked the engine. We roared away into the night. But I think someone saw us leave. Oh, jeez. We're rubbish spies. I like this. This is cool. Hitler reaffirms promise not to invade Switzerland. In a meeting between Swiss and German officials last night in Berlin, the German Chancellor reaffirmed his country's commitment to respecting Switzerland's neutrality in the event of war. This should calm fears in the chocolate-loving nation, which is rumoured to have significantly bolstered its Alpine military defence system in recent months. 30th. I can't remember what date we were on before. Is this just the next day? Hotel Alpine. All of which puts us here, Aubry, old chum. The imaginatively named Hotel Alpine. The Italian and I sat together at the breakfast table like a perfect couple of chumps. He had his napkin tucked into his collar. Are you ready to tell me where we're going yet? The oaf reached across the table and took my hand in his. Please, he said, it's my daughter. She has been taken. We must rescue her. I spluttered. It sounded more like a fairy tale than a mission. Well then, I suppose we'd better go and get her. CtrlAltNoob. Is that wrong? The Italian enthused, releasing my hand to pat his chest. I am Primo Vercoli at your service. Smith. Also, is our name actually Smith? Oh no, not your real name, of course. Frankly, I don't know. Yeah, it's Smith. Best reply. Good to make your acquaintance, Signor. Is that how you say that? Is that like Senor or something? Smith. I nodded and got back to the business of eating my kippers. This writing's really good. We got to the train station in Lugano. He continued. Oh wait, this is him speaking. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. We got to the train station in Lugano, he continued. Then to Bellinzona, 2-3 hours. Then we rescue my daughter. Then have her in the castle there. Why am I trying to speak in a half-ass accent? They have her in the castle there. He leant back, evidently pleased with his plan. And now, how is your smoked fish? May I try? Do I need to go in the map then and move on to the next bit? Yeah. Lugano. We ditched the stolen car and walked to Lugano, or we continued on in the stolen car. Somebody did see us steal the car, so maybe we should walk. Seems like a terrible plan, and that is in line with the rest of the mission so far. Lugano. It's me again, Aubry. We followed the lakeside road to Lugano, a 2-hour walk that took 3 hours because Vercoli kept stopping to dab his forehead with his handkerchief. But we reached the town in one piece, and with no one on our tail that I could see. Yeah, see, if we took the car, we might have been tailed. I planned to hide in plain sight. I would board the train with the swagger of a millionaire. Would the ladies care to choose which mountain I might buy? Champagne for everyone aboard the express. Did it work? Seems like it did. We're on the train. The train was ready. We were just about to climb aboard when... There you are, Hund. A woman's voice, loud, shrill, and familiar. I whirled around, just in time to get a sharp slap across the face. It was a Fraulein. But she wasn't smiling now. This is really funny. Speaking of dogs, Fraulein, you seem to be dogging my heels. As well I might. She slapped me with the other hand across the other cheek. It seemed she was playing a scene, but for whom? She turned to address the audience that was beginning to form around us on the concourse. This is the man who stole her Dr. Schwinger's cat from the Hotel Melody. Car, not cat. Oh dear. Perhaps Primo would vouch for me? But no, he had slipped away into the crowd, of course. Yes, that's him. The man who was there in Melody. It was a second voice, Austrian. This must be the doctor then. The train behind me was gathering steam. It would be departing soon. Oh, we're not on the train yet. I heard the clatter of police cars' bells approaching. I turned and ran for the train. You are now powerful. I made it aboard by a whisker, hauled awkwardly into the carriage by a wheezing Vercoli. As the train gathered speed, the defeated Fraulein stood motionless on the platform. Then just before we turned the corner, she lifted her palm and blew me a kiss. She's a thinker, that Fraulein. I don't know what to think about her. Rivera. The train to Bellinzona. Macaulay produced an enormous handkerchief and began dabbing at the beads of sweat forming on his brow. I do not understand, he kept repeating. I do not understand. Why does she chase us? She wants whatever it is that our daughter has. It doesn't matter. We'll leave her behind. But why would we do that when she said... His words were cut short by the juddering of the train coming to an unexpected halt. Ooh. It was time to slip out of the train. No? Yes. It's time to slip out of the train. I waited for the conductor to leave the carriage, then gestured Vercoli. He didn't move. A policeman, oh, it's the police, stepped aboard and began moving down the carriage towards us, checking each face as he went along. We're just a wanted man in all of Italy right now. Vercoli shot me a worried glance, then buried himself in a copy of Lausanne Gazette. The Swiss police are always on the lookout for foreign spies, but as far as I knew, I wasn't known to them yet. Or was I? Or maybe they weren't here for us. I don't know. I like that one, but it feels really stupid. I slid down into my seat. Maybe they won't see me. Oh no, you have been caught by the polizia. But it was futile. Oh, I feel like I was just going to get caught anyway. But it was futile. I was hardly going to hide behind Vercoli's newspaper. The policeman nodded to his colleague and, with a gentle hand, they led me from the train. I caught Vercoli's anxious eye as the Bellinzona train built up steam and pulled away. Did I lose? I feel like I've lost. Where am I now? Diary. The Italian and I stole a Bugatti and we drove for the narrow thingy causeway. No one stopped us, so why do I feel like we're being watched? Hitler reissues Swiss Alps declared off limits. My Italian friend is Primo Vercoli, and someone is holding his daughter in a castle at Bellinzona. Though why this matters to Britain's interests, I don't know. Oh wait. Escape the polizei, I don't know, by a whisker aboard the Bellinzona train, but why did the Fraulein set them onto my tail? So, this feels important. I was dragged inside a beer house. The smell, the sausage and the stale beer From the shadows at the back, a cigarette flared. Let's go. This isn't a police station. Where am I? I have a question for you. English. A man's voice. Deep. Resonant. French, perhaps. What exactly have you been playing at? I don't answer questions for people I can't see. The police here call spies bedbugs. Did you know that? Little bedbugs living in their bed. A man paused to draw on his cigarette. Ironic, no? He smiled as he saw the realization dawning on my face. He was one of us. You made such a noise in Lugano. I had to pull you off the train to warn you. I was heading to Bellinzona with my contact. Your contact? You sure about that? A flick of the cigarette. A little scatter of ash. A moment for me to consider. I'll leave you to your cigarette. Vakoli, I began. He was my contact, wasn't he? The police, I now have your description. Oh dear. We've never heard of Vakoli before. Now get moving. The cigarette moved to indicate a small door at the rear. We'll be in touch once Control has worked out what good you can do out here. There's no time for more questions. I was hustled away through an empty kitchen, then out the back of the beer house. Okay. This is so good. I love it. Monte Sanieri is the next one. We can either walk away from the town or steal a policeman's bicycle. What does all... Oh, do you know, I didn't even... I was looking at this, but I don't know what it does. Maybe this is like danger. Oh, I wish I'd been looking at that before. I'll have to watch it back on my video. So that's got one question mark and it's in like the middle. That one's in 0 and it's got 3 question marks. I think I should just I want to steal the bicycle, but I think I should just walk away. Oh, I don't know what that was all doing. I imagined the police might start looking for me in Bellinzona, so I hiked up the nearest mountain and decided to lie low on high. 2 things were now clear. I mulled them over as I walked. 1, Vakoli had not been my contact. As far as Control was concerned, I had reached Riva, then gone completely rogue in the company of an unknown Italian, eating kippers and stealing cars. 2, wherever my actual contact had gone, he wasn't coming back. No. It's Control's fault, of course. If I'd been given proper description, I would have known right away that Vakoli wasn't the man. Confidential field report. Location Riviera, route safe. Oh no, I didn't read it all. Monte Sanieri. Picture me, Aubry. Log fire, warm brandy. I found an empty cabin up here, marvellously well stocked. You'll think me a lucky devil, but these are the Swiss Alps. The locals are too savvy to be caught short if they're snowed in. And I needed the brandy. I was mixed up in something, and it was rattling around inside my head like loose change. I like that. A man can shoot himself quite happily out here. The sound would... No, don't actually do it. The sound would boom around the mountains like applause, perhaps even set off an avalanche that would bury me and this whole wretched business along with it. Then, an interruption. There was a knock at the door. Who is it? Tell me. Damn her eyes, Aubry. What is it? The Fraulein Wolf? What should I do? I like that. I like the funny options. They're so good. Sometimes I wish I carried a gun. Should I stay silent or should I open the door? I'm gonna open the door. No point in hiding. The night was cold, but she wasn't wearing a coat. Well, aren't you gonna ask me in? Would that be wise? I'm not armed, if that's what you mean. The Fraulein lifted her arms above her head and turned in a slow circle under the light of the porch lantern. Look, she said. I looked. Satisfied? Without waiting for an answer, she stepped inside. If this went on any longer, she'd be helping herself to the brandy I'd found. I had to come. I believe I owe you an apology, Mr. Smith. I was listening. I got you into the most awful lot of trouble, didn't I? This Veloci business. I came straight to the point. It was your doing. You set me up. Poor Smith, are you upset? And you played your part so well. Veloci was quite convinced by you. I'd been a pawn in her game, and of course, she wanted me to know it. Veloci thinks you're quite marvellous. He asked me to pass on his thanks to Führer for sending you. Wait, what's happening then? So, she set us up to go together, but why? I should kill you where you stand. You took advantage of Vicoli. I chided her. Manipulating him like that with your lies. But of course I did. If I hadn't, your people would have. The man is, how do you say it? A chump. I couldn't disagree with that last part. You might not like it, but we do want the same thing. She was serious now. You want the girl freed, and so do I. So that much was clear. Veloci's daughter was somehow crucial. You expect me to form an alliance with you? Of course. But you didn't think I came here for something else, did you? Didn't you? She giggled like a schoolgirl. One of those fearsome ones that carries a hockey stick. I propose a solemn pact, Smith. An alliance, to be broken the instant one of us double-crosses the other. It will be fun, don't you agree? Detestable. What's that mean? Like awful. Sounds awful. As fun as toothache. If we play, you'll lose, Fraulein. Now that's the spirit. The wolf paced away across the room and curled herself up on the rug before the fire. What? Slipped off her shoes. Now don't be a bore. Pour me a drink and we'll discuss how we're going to spring the Veloci girl from her castle. Damn her eyes, Aubry. Oh, I don't want this to end. It's not another knock at the door, is it? No. Her Mauser lay on the table by the couch, placed there after she removed it from the strap holster on her thigh. I guess that's a gun then. I got Fraulein Wolf's gun now, Aubry. Ooh, I've acquired a pistol. I might need to use it on her if I've got a soft spot for irony. I'll be gone before she wakes up. Call me a cad if you like, but remember she's a Nazi, Aubry. I worked in the slaughterhouse on my uncle's estate one summer, Aubry. Did I ever tell you that? The chief butcher asked me once, why is swine born with such wonderful eyes? Damn her eyes. Love this game. Right, map. Are we just going to play the full game? Cadenazzo. I made my way downhill on foot. She is definitely going to catch up with us. We're a terrible spy. At the foot of the mountain was a pretty little village called Cadenazzo. I think we're going to get stuck at the paddock fence, not I read it as padlock fence. I took a shortcut into the village by way of paddock fence. Rather reckless as it turned out. I tore my jacket on some barbed wire. I was thirsty and footsore and badly in need of a break. Can't catch a break. What is this? I'm not sure. This is what... Police successfully evaded. You have a strong lead on them, but remain vigilant. I need longer on that other screen. The bus to Bellinzona departs when you're ready. Okay. We're going on the bus now. Soviet Union ratifies non-aggression pact with Germany. Oh, it's so annoying. What does ratifies mean? Why am I so shit at the vocabulary? Right. Today, the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union ratified the Treaty of Non-Aggression between Germany and the USSR. The agreement, revelations of which shocked the world earlier this month, states that neither government may ally itself to or aid an enemy of the other. The pact marks a surprising turn from Stalin's government, following months of negotiations with Britain and France towards establishing a similar alliance. Right, so we've got to get on the bus. The entire population of Cadenazzo must have been packed inside that tavern. Everyone knew everyone else. Everyone jostled everyone else. Everyone spilled everyone else's beer and then hurried to replace it, spilling even more in the process. What's the fray? What does fray mean? I surveyed the room for a mark. What's a mark? I surveyed the room for a mark. My eye settled on a red-whiskered man sitting alone. He was studying a small book containing detailed illustrations of wildflowers with barley-clad fairies disreputably draped across them. Is the seat taken? The man blushed the colour of his beard hairs and the book disappeared under the table. Did Maria send you? That's right. That woman, he cursed, shaking his head. She barely gives me the time of day, let alone 10 minutes with her. What? I'm a bit lost. I feel your pain, friend. I waited for 2 beers. They arrived and we clunked our mugs together. So tell me, friend, how long have you been married? He asked. Long enough to regret it. I'll drink to that, he replied. Shall I tell you what did it for me? Goats. I'll be honest, Aubry, I feared the turn this conversation was taking. It was like this, he continued. Not long after we were married, Maria came very interested in looking after our goats. The man's great moustache bristled with sorrow. She goes up the mountain for hours and comes back smelling of goats. You know, that grassy hay smell that goats have. The sympathetic smile I wore during this nonsense was faultless. I feel like we're so confident in ourselves and we've got no reason to be because we're such a shit spy. It neither slipped nor faltered. I varied it for realism, even added the odd murmur of understanding. You'd have been proud of me, Aubry. We took a deep, sympathetic draft together. Draft? Yeah. And of course, we have no children, he continued. I should have very much liked to be a father. Perhaps you and the wife could adopt a goat. Maybe I'll have to, we agreed. Oh yeah, it was time to seed a little misdirection should the polizia come by. Now friend, let me tell you a little about myself. As you can see, I'm English, but I lived these past 4 years in Switzerland, mostly Zurich, but I have friends in Locarno. The tale was wonderfully spun, and I felt sure my friend would remember all the best bits, as would the people at the neighbouring tables. The tavern crowd was thinning. It was time to move on. I feel like that was smart. The bus departs whenever we are ready. Is there any more? Ooh. Oh, I didn't realise. Maybe I've missed a bunch of stuff. The little church of Cadenazo was dim and empty inside, blissfully cool. The space was so quiet that for a moment I didn't see the priest, sitting on the front pew, his head bowed. I took a seat at the back quietly. The priest must have had exceptional hearing. He addressed me in Italian. You are welcome, whoever you are. What can you tell me about Bellinzona, father? You're a tourist, are you? Bellinzona is loved for its 3 marvellous castles, though you can't go inside them anymore, all without turning his head. That's when I realised he was blind. What's your name, my child? He asked. Do I pretend to be Danish, or do I just say Smith? Oh no, I left a footprint! Shit! Oh! Then you are English, he nodded. Oh, I thought he would have heard if... He would have figured out that we weren't Danish. Then you are English, he nodded. My name is Locarno, Father Locarno. Like the town not far from here, across the lake. Fuck, I'm so annoyed at myself. I'm not telling him where we're going. Why did I go in the church? I just came from Locarno. I lied. You left a diversion. There we go. Then you are on your way to Bellinzona, he replied, to see the castles. I took a moment just to rest. The priest nodded at the floor. You have been walking a long time, he remarked, and yet you have no belongings. Should I tell him I'm on the run from the police? I travel light. The priest chuckled. Just dragging your heavy soul around is weight enough, I'm sure. Burn. Farewell, father. That was terrible. Peace be with you, my child, the priest replied. There was a sadness in his voice. Perhaps he saw a little of my future. Aubry. He seemed the type. I wonder if he smelled my fear as well. I fucked up there, haven't I? Right, we've got 3 choices then. The hike to Bellinzona was only a couple of hours. My friend from the tavern was driving to Bellinzona. There was a bus to Bellinzona. My friend from the tavern driving. Why is that so high there though? The walk feels more risky because they know where I'm going. I wish I knew what this meant and what this meant. Oh, this feels like such a big choice. There's a bus. The bus feels like a terrible choice. Do I take a higher risk lift? Or do I hike? He has a story. I'm going to have to do the hike because he has a story. I need him to stay there for when they come and question people. I'm hiking. I don't know what the 5 question marks are though, but at least it keeps that low. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. This is what I need more time for. What does this mean? I don't know. Police successfully evaded. Bellinzona. No! That was so good. That was brilliant. Like, I actually loved that. That was so good. It was so funny. Like, the writing was so witty. And the only thing is, I just wish I understood what the numbers were, what was going on a bit. But just as a little journey, like, usually I always take a good guy, careful approach. But because the writing was so good, it proper encouraged me to take the daft approach, but in a good way. Like, that was mint. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And that was Over the Alps. That was one that I wouldn't play if I just read the description. But that's why I'm so glad that I get to do these, because that was like probably my second favourite so far. So mint. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, thank you for watching Over the Alps, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye!